Hey, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and today I'm reviewing Lightspeed Arena. Now, I know usually I hold up the box when I do that whole starting intro, but today is a little different because Lightspeed Arena is a game that was previously known as Lightspeed, then became Stellar Conflict, and is now Lightspeed Arena, an app-driven, or app-assisted, I should say, not driven, an app-assisted version of the same game. The general idea, and let's go ahead and follow along as we start off over here, the general idea is you start by tapping play. We're going to go ahead and do a normal 8-spaceship game over here. The battle is about to start. Now, basically what we're doing is we're going to go ahead and start placing down ships in order to hit each other ships. So we're going to go ahead and start over here. Everyone's going to go ahead and grab a ship. Oh, we're going to go ahead and do this over here. We're going to place a ship down, place a ship down. They're going to place ships down. So I'm not trying to go for accuracy so much as resolution right now. We're going to go ahead and do this. This is going to be, this whole process right now is going to take, I don't know, 20 seconds or so. No, it's not. It's going to take 30, it's 10 seconds per ship, 8 ships. Should have done a 6-ship version. I don't know why I did this over here. We're going to go ahead and do this over here. We're going to pop this down over there. Now, normally I'm operating on a much larger space and with more flexibility as far as what I do over here. But right now, we are trying to just do this as fast as I possibly can. But this will all make sense soon enough. Do I stop? Do I just stop? I probably should have just stopped, but it's fine. We're just going to keep going right now. This space is going to be insane right now as far as the general ability to put these down. Now, you're supposed to be tapping. This is insanity. I'm putting these down over here. We're going to go ahead and put these down. The basic idea is every person has 10 seconds to simultaneously put out your ships on a battlefield that is admittedly, the app does that, on a battlefield that is admittedly much larger than what you're currently seeing over here. So right now we're just doing it, and it is what it is, because this is, we got 2 more ships left to go, but I'm just flipping these over at this point. We're going to go ahead and do this over here like so, and I'll show you how this all works. There we go. We did it. We did it. We probably killed our own ships, but you'll understand how this goes. Also, you really shouldn't be playing it simultaneously yourself, doing the whole thing. But right now, the basic idea, and we'll show you the resolution in a second, but the basic idea is there's a 5-10 second prep phase, and then you have 10 seconds per ship to put the ships on the board. You can place it at 2 players, you can place it at 4 players, but you have 10 seconds per ship, I think it's 10 seconds, whatever number it is, to put the ships out on the board, trying to take into account a variety of things. Now, the things you're taking into account to begin with is you have lasers on your ships. Lasers will shoot other ships. This is a laser that's going to shoot my own ship. That's not good, but hey, that's the price of chaos right now. This is a stronger laser. This is a medium laser. You basically have 3 strength lasers, light, medium, and strong, doing 1, 2, or 3 damage respectively. You also have shields. Shields will protect your ships from being hit, or they'll minimize the strength of the laser by 1. Now you have to go ahead and try to hit the ships themselves, and the ships have lives on them, and those lives will indicate how much damage they can take before they die. Meanwhile, you're also trying to mine asteroids. The strength of your laser that hits the asteroid is going to determine how much you mine from the asteroid. And lastly, you have enemy bases. If your base is left standing, you get points. Otherwise, you don't, and you get points for all the damage you deal to ships. Now with that, we're going to do the app part. Well, we already did the app part. We're going to go ahead and... No, wait, what's happening? What's happening? Back to the arena. Tap to take a picture. So right now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm taking a picture of the play space. So right now, I'm going to look over here. I'm going to take a picture, and I'm going to grab it, and then we'll show you how it all plays out. So we got the app over here, and now it's uploading it, it's processing it, it's taking the app, and all the craziness you just watched unfold is going to, well, unfold. It's got all the things. In the arena, there's 9 red, 9 green, 9 blue, 9 yellow, and 2 asteroids. Go to battle. Okay, so now it's going to start by resolving initiative. All initiative 1 ships, that's this guy over here, he just shot this ship. A friendly unit? Really? Yeah, unfortunately. This guy over here mined an asteroid. It went past the ship, and it has to hit the actual ship itself. If it just hits the card, then it doesn't actually resolve. Let's zoom in a bit more so you can really see this over here. So if it just hits the card doesn't matter. It has to actually hit the outline of the ship. So we're mining from the asteroid. This guy's going to move off the planet over there, hitting the shield, and then hitting blue, doing a damage. We have our last one, which hit an ally, although that is, if they were aiming for, what does it say over here? If they're aiming for boredom, they hit the bullseye. Okay. And then over here, we got ship number 2, going off into some space. Everyone gets some practice shots, right? Ship number 2 is hitting enemies, fortunately. So we got some good shots in there. It's going to be some damage reflected. We have 2 over here, is resolving, missing that and hitting that, going past there, going through, hitting the shield. We have this one hitting a friendly fire again. Again, I was going chaos. I was trying to get 4 ships per turn and all the chaos. This one hits some friendly fire and then some enemies. Friendly fire and some enemies. We're not doing great as far as keeping our ships alive, but boom. Wow, 1 shot and it's down. We killed that ship over there with the strength 3 laser. That's going to be removed from the battlefield. So that is no longer an obstruction. Other lasers will go through it. Got there and there, doing some damage. Mining the laser, mining the asteroid, that's where you get points. Now keep in mind, your ship only gets points for mining the asteroid if it's still alive at the end. If the ship dies, all the stuff it's carrying is useless. It's the quiet before the storm, folks. Clearly, someone took a drop too much. It's upside down, reading text upside down. We get rid of that ship, target that one. One ship 5 out of 8, keep that in mind. Mining a little bit more. Hitting that ship. We're on ship 6 so far. We got 3 more to go. Damaging and killing that ship, so we're done. Now keep in mind, if a ship gets damaged before its initiative order, it won't resolve. So if a 1 kills a 7, the 7's never going to shoot. Get another ship down over there. We're just slowly destroying each other. Hitting our own ships again. Mining a little bit more. And hitting our own ship again. And I think we gotta hit that guy. And finally, the last ship over here, it's nothing. With 3 lasers managed to hit nothing, which is impressive. That guy hit someone. And then nothing. And then lastly, the very last ship manages to hit something and kill something. And that is going to be the resolution of battle as far as the way that goes. We're going to go ahead and see this over here. We have 10, 11, 13, 12, 17. We're adding up all the points. Now the points, we're going to have green as the winner, 19, 16, 13, 12. And you're getting points for having your home base left alive, for the damage you dealt, and for the treasures you gathered along the way. And that is basically how you play Lightspeed Arena. Basically just the whole game in my pocket over there. Which means it's time for the review, starting off with ease of play. The game is actually very easy to dive into. There's a few things we didn't touch upon, but the basic idea, once again, is in real time, you're placing your ships onto a battlefield that is hopefully larger than the condensed space I gave you over here. You're trying to place them down wherever you want to try to go ahead and shoot other ships while trying to protect yourself using the ships. Like very often you'll have someone placing down a ship to, let's say, shoot your home base or whatnot. Let's have this guy shooting your home base. And then maybe if you go ahead and pop your own ship there with a little shield, you can take the damage at a reduced amount while shooting back. So you're going to be constantly reacting to the way the battlefield evolves. I'm realizing I just did this whole thing that was zoomed too far in on. This over here. So you have someone shooting your base, and then you pop your shield down over here to block it in there. And then you also have extra things we didn't talk about. We have sponsored asteroids with abilities. You also have faction abilities you can utilize. The factions do have their own abilities that you can use if you want, and you can tap in the app whether they're enabled or not. But the basic idea is it's a real-time game that plays out in genuinely the entire experience from start to resolution is maybe a 10-minute experience. The actual placement is, 10 seconds per turn times 8, so like a minute and a half of placement, and then maybe 5-6 minutes of resolution as you go through it all, trying to see what the resources you gathered, what damage you dealt, and how it all unfolded, all driven, all assisted by the app. So the ease of play is a rulebook that is incredibly easy to go through, and then the app handling all the things for you past that. And game time is, like I said, 5 to 10 minutes per game, an incredibly short game as far as that goes. As far as what I like, don't like, and can see others not liking, first of all, the real-time nature of the game combined with the, not dexterity, but the real-time adapting of the battlefield. There's no spots to go here. You're not placing your worker on a certain location. You are placing your things down anywhere you want on the table, reacting to the evolving battle around you with a degree of absolute chaos and speed around you that really drives the whole game forward. You are dropping ships that will respond to what your enemies are doing, but also end up shooting your own ships because before you know it, you're forgetting everything in the heat of battle. And that gives you a weird tactile element of feeling almost, well, in a battle. You feel like you're in a battle. You feel the chaos of trying to react and drive things forward while absolute chaos goes on around you. The app resolving things for you makes it incredibly easy. There are no rules you have to know over here. The app just resolves, takes care of it, processes it all. There's no discussions, disagreements. I never played the original Lightspeed, but I did play Stellar Conflict. They had rubber bands you'd use to stretch across the board and see if you hit things. The app takes care of absolutely everything for you. And then the apps, the sponsors and the asymmetric factions give you a little bit more variability if you want just to drop more spiciness in your game. As far as things I don't like in the game, this is the tricky part because it's a big part of the game, unfortunately, which is the app, as good as it is, does remove the feeling of being as involved in what's actually happening with the outcome of the game. Doing the gameplay itself, as you place ships down, you get a good feeling of being invested. You have a good feeling of looking at the battlefield, trying to respond and react, and then for me at least, having the app resolve everything really takes me out of the experience. Watching it all unfold on a screen, as much as it makes the experience easier to manage from a rules perspective, takes it away from me because again, I remember playing Stellar Conflict, and as much as the Rebels had disagreements and debates and it was a little bit more fiddly than anything else, having to resolve what happens on the board gave you much more of a sense of identity to your actions, the things you were doing in the game, and the way you had to resolve them. You saw it all unfold, versus this one's like, you do it, you take a picture, and then you kind of lose that sense of connection. Or at least I lose the sense of connection between my actions and the way the game resolves at the end of it. So it's a weird thing, because the overall game concept I like. I've enjoyed Stellar Conflict and I enjoy Lightspeed Arena. But the app, as much as it is a good thing, I think it really, at least for me, really takes me out of the experience at the same time. And that might be a question of whether how much you like or don't like apps. Generally, I'm not a huge fan of apps in board games, so there is that bias at play. But ultimately, we'll get to in final thoughts. We'll get more into it in final thoughts. As far as I can see others not liking, first of all, it's a real-time chaos game. If you don't like the timer counting down while you desperately try to put ships on the board, and you argue whether you did or didn't put your ship down in the last second, this might not be a game for you or your group if you can't get behind what this game is. It is real-time, absolute chaos, and it should have a degree of leeway with the people you're playing with in general. I'll say that in anything above 2 players, it doesn't always feel like a fair game as much as sheer chaos. In a 2-player experience, you are playing back and forth, and it's chaos, it's real-time madness, but at least there's a sense of, okay, I'm trying to compete against you. At higher player counts, I'm trying to compete against just trying to survive while everyone shoots me from all corners. So that sense of fairness and justice might be gone. It starts moving less from a strategy game and more into a, okay, great, bunch of people shot my ships and now I'm dead before the game can resolve. So if you don't want that sense, and again, it's a 5-10 minute game, but if you don't like that concept, I think at 3 to 4 players, it's almost more of a party game. At 2 players, it's real-time chaos, but it is more of a strategy experience. As far as final thoughts on Lightspeed Arena, I am conflicted on this one because I like the game. I enjoy Stellar Conflict. I've had fun with Stellar Conflict, the game before this one, again, Lightspeed being the original, then Stellar Conflict. So I enjoy Stellar Conflict. I had fun playing through that one, and this one takes elements of that and makes it better, but it also adds the app, which is both a good thing and a bad thing for my experience of the game. It makes everything easier to resolve, easier to learn. It basically just get to take a snapshot and watch it all unfold for you. So in many areas, it makes the game more playable. And the timer for like the playing, that little countdown timer, it's all great. It's great in that sense. But it comes so at the cost of me feeling connected to my actions, which has me conflicted between enjoying the battle phase and then feeling disassociated from the resolution phase, which is a weird place to be. So for me, this is a 3.5 out of 5. It is a good concept with a good new execution, a new execution that might make it better for you if you've played the original Lightspeed or if you've played Stellar Conflict. For me, as much as I do enjoy Lightspeed Arena, I think I prefer Stellar Conflict. I think I prefer the game system without the app resolving things for you. So that's why I am in this one. It's both a good game with my conflicted feelings around the app. As far as other game recommendations, first of all, if you want another game that's going to have a degree of not really lining up lasers on a spaceship like this, but if you want something similar to a degree, Flick 'em Up is a game that I don't really hear people talk about these days, but Flick 'em Up is a flicking game with pirates and knocking things over that is delightfully fun and chaotic in its own way. And if you like the concept of lining up shots but with a lot more control, if you want to take this experience and then put it straight into a Eurogame engine, highly recommend checking out Neuroshima Hex from Portal Games, because it basically takes this concept but in a much more controlled fashion with order resolution, with the ways things are lining up, with special abilities. Neuroshima Hex has been out for quite some time with a lot of content and expansions for it, because it kind of takes this concept and just Eurofies it as opposed to the chaos that this is. In any case, until next time, I hope you find this review helpful. As always, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co., and I hope you have a good one.